So good morning, this is Deepak, and it is Sunday today. And by the way, that picture in the back, that's my parents. And my mother in that picture was pregnant with me. So just so you know. Anyway, today's question from the book, You Are the Universe, discoveringyourcosmicself.com. From that book, on our discussion boards at discoveringyourself, the question that came up was, does the brain create the mind? Does the mind create the brain? Does it matter? Why is it important to know? And will it make a difference to how I live my life? So you can join these discussion boards by coming to our website, discoveringyourcosmicself.com. And actually, if you have purchased the book or pre-pub purchase, will get you a free course from a physicist, Menas Kafatos, who's also a cosmologist, and myself. So thank you. I just see this coming in. Barry Scott Lowy says, buying the book today, looking forward to the read. Well, thank you. Okay, so let me continue with the discussion of whether the mind creates the brain or the brain creates the mind and why it matters. Okay, so before I do that, I'm going to read to you a little bit from the book, just give you a taste, okay? Before the universe can have a mind, we need to understand our own minds. That's logical enough. We cannot see reality through the minds of dolphins and elephants, even though both species have outsized brains that could be functioning at a very high level. Almost certainly there is a dolphin reality and an elephant reality tailor-made to fit their nervous system. Dolphins have been shown to learn words, giving them a close affinity to humans, and also, like humans, they are capable, unfortunately, of savage acts. Still, they are not humans inhabiting a reality beyond ours. This logic leads to a surprising conclusion. A universe is defined by the creatures who inhabit it. What humans call the universe is like taking 2 bananas, a sack of flour, and a frozen pizza home and claiming that you bought out the supermarket. Any reality as perceived through a different nervous system implies a different universe. So that dolphins and elephants inhabit their own, which to them is the universe. And why stop with them? Why not a snail universe or a giant panda universe? You humans didn't take out an exclusive deed on reality. We just assumed we did, perhaps out of our self-inflicted sense of superiority. The reason we made that assumption is pride of the brain. With its quadrillion possible connections and combinations, the human brain is the most complex object in the universe, so far as we know. Thanks to its activity, we are self-aware. A horse eats grass and is content. We eat spinach and can say, I don't like this, or I love this, along with any opinion in between. This implies enormous control over our thoughts. Pride of the brain lies behind all of science too, since our brain has a mysterious capacity for logic and reason. Pride of the brain is seriously humbled, however, when we look more closely. So now I want to get to just one part here in the book, the difference between mind and the computer model of the brain. So 5 reasons that computer is not a good model of even how the brain functions, even if the brain was the source of the mind. Minds think, computers massage digits. Minds understand concepts, computers understand nothing. Minds worry, doubt, self-reflect, and await insight. Minds have feelings, computers spit out answers based on crunching numbers. Mind asks why, computers ask nothing unless ordered to by someone with a mind. Minds navigate through the world by having experiences. Computers have no experiences. They run software, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so this is my case right here in the book for saying that mind and brain are actually both activities of awareness. Okay, and what we call mind is a model that we humans have created around experience, which is basically thoughts and emotions. And what we call brain is also a model that we humans have created around fundamental experience. So both mind and brain are not reality, they're models of reality. Let's start with let's start with an experiment, okay? So if I asked you, what is this? You would say, it's a book. Well, that's the model of humans that would call it a book. Would a dog call this a book? Would a bat call this a book? Obviously not, right? So this, what we call a book, is a model around an experience. So what is the experience? The experience is blue. The experience is shape. The experience is texture. The experience is smell. The experience is taste. Isn't that? The experience is therefore perception. And so let's take any one of those perceptions, one that we can call seeing. So as fundamental experience, this is seeing. Now, what is it seeing? And who is seeing it? And what is the seeing? The seeing is a form, a color, a shape. Can we separate the form or the color or the shape from seeing? And the answer is we cannot, right? So first we started with a model, which was book. Then we came to a form, a color, a shape, an experience, seeing, and seeing cannot be separated from the awareness in which seeing is happening. So many non-dual teachers will say that in reality, you cannot separate any experience from the awareness in which experience is happening. And the awareness in which the experience is happening is you, as fundamental reality is you, being, existence, awareness. The rest is a story. This is a story. Of course, it has a story within the story. If every object is not separate from form, and if the form as experienced is seeing, and if seeing is not separate from the activity in awareness, then this is not an object, it is a modified form of awareness. It's a modified form of awareness. And this and the brain are experienced similarly. When you look at a brain, you're engaged in the act of seeing. And that act of seeing is not separate from awareness. So the brain as an object is a modified form of awareness. The body as an object is a modified form of awareness. The universe as containing objects in space-time is a form of awareness. And then, of course, when we go and look at the mind, we see the same thing is true. Thoughts are forms of awareness, modified forms of awareness. Emotions are modified forms of awareness. Okay, so both mind and body and brain and universe are modified forms of awareness. In fact, they are nothing other than awareness. The subject of experience, we say I. But the I is non-local, it's not in space-time. The object of experience, we say body, thoughts, mind, universe. Okay. And this is also a dualistic shift. In reality, subject and object are just awareness. And that's who you are. You are awareness. And the experience of awareness that we call mind is in time. The experience of awareness that we call body is in time. It's in awareness, made out of awareness, known in awareness, as Rupert Spira would say, occurring in awareness. And similarly, the brain. Brain is just another object which has a form, and that form is not separate from the experience of it, and the experience of it is not separate from the awareness of it. In fact, the brain is a modified form of awareness, as is the mind. And we can go even beyond that. The brain is awareness, the mind is awareness, the body is awareness, and the universe is awareness. Everything else is a story around that experience. So let me actually read a little bit, and therefore what the conclusion could be, okay? The conclusion could be the following from the book, okay? And basically that does the brain create the mind? No. But the reverse isn't true either. The mind doesn't create the brain, and this is another example of putting a distance between a potter and a lump of clay. Mind and brain aren't related in that way. Mind didn't find some primal stuff lying around in intergalactic space and fashion it into a brain. Matter didn't gather into bigger, more complex clumps until they got complex enough to begin thinking. The principle that applies here is complementarity, by which apparent opposites cannot exist without each other. There is no chicken or egg dilemma because reality contains opposites all at once. Okay, so now a lot of people are saying this is too complex and this is too difficult to understand, but here is the simplest version of it. All there is awareness and its activity as sensations, images, feelings, thoughts, perceptions. All there is. So, one sentence, you are awareness, mind is awareness, body is awareness, and universe is awareness. Okay, that's all you have to remember. And if you totally understand, then awareness is presence. It's that in which experience happens, and it's that in which experience is interpreted. The interpretations are useful models that help us create technology and navigate experience, but do remember that the map is not the territory, okay? The territory is awareness or presence or consciousness in which all these experiences are happening, and then the interpretations of the experiences are happening in the awareness, and then, of course, we are creating models of reality. But reality is always now, reality is always presence, and the activity of that presence, which is thoughts, feelings, emotions, desires, instincts, drives, introspection, intention, imagination, creativity, and the desire to know oneself. The desire to know oneself. So you ask the question, does the mind create the brain? Does the brain create the mind? And one response to that would be, who's asking the question? Who wants to know? Who or what is it that wants to know? And who or what that wants to know is being, is awareness itself, is presence, it's consciousness, it's, if you want to call it, it's infinite, non-local, eternal being. Okay? That's all you need to remember. Why is that important? Why is that important? Because another word for this pure awareness or pure consciousness is love. Because in this pure consciousness, all is one. All is one. And Elizabeth Hartsuk says everything vibrates. The vibration is the activity of the awareness, which is pure being, pure love, pure consciousness, the one being at the core of all beings. And that is real love. Love not necessarily focused on anyone, but love that is not denied to anyone as well. Love that radiates from your innermost being like light from a bonfire. So I thought to bring this home to you, I might want to read from my notes on Tagore, and I will read something that is actually very relevant, because knowing this understanding of Nirmala, Raniga says, thanks for sharing. Thanks, Nirmala, for joining. So let me read to you why this is important and why this gives us the freedom of being is in this understanding. Okay? I was not aware of the moment when I first crossed the threshold of this life. What was the power that made me open out into this vast mystery like a bud in the forest at midnight? When in the morning I looked upon the light, I felt in a moment that I was no stranger in this world, that the inscrutable without name and form had taken me in its arms in the form of my mother. Even so, in death, the same unknown will appear as ever known to me. And because I love this life, I shall never fear death. The child cries out when from the right breast the mother takes it away, in the very next moment to find in the left one its consolation. And then the following poem, when I go from hence, let this be my parting word, that what I have seen is unsurpassable. I have tasted of the hidden honey of this lotus that expands on the ocean of light, and so am blessed. Let this be my parting word. In this playhouse of infinite forms, I have had my play, and here have I caught sight of him, her, that is formless. My whole body and my limbs have thrilled with his touch who is beyond touch. And if the end comes here, let it come. Let this be my parting word. Okay, so today there's a lot of confusion in the world. There's a lot of chaos in the world. Old systems are falling apart. People are living in fear. There is anger, there's hostility. And nothing can heal that but coming back to your true being, which is not mind, which is not brain, which is not body, but which is the universe looking at itself, knowing itself, thinking about itself, feeling itself, experiencing itself through you. Formless being interacting with its own self to experience itself as form and phenomena. When the world is ugly and in discontent, only this knowledge can bring you back to heal yourself and also to heal the world. So join our discussion on these discussion boards, and the website again is discoveringyourcosmicself.com. Thank you.